Why am I worried about statues coming down in the United States? It's because I'm seeing the same pattern repeat. So I just want to talk to you a little bit about why I'm worried about what's going on in the United States today. For a long time, I stayed away from politics. It was at the forefront of my life ever since I was a kid, seeing how things changed so rapidly back home. I remember the statues of Christopher Columbus being knocked down. After that, the street names changed. Not all of them, but quite a few of them. They changed the name of the national park in Caracas, El Ávila, to Guaraíra Repano, something more indigenous. They changed the flag of our country. They also changed the name. They dismantled our police in 2001 and put in place a new one. They changed our voting system, so the way we voted changed after the second election of Chavez. Or before the second election, I would say. Why am I worried about statues coming down in the United States? It's because I'm seeing the same pattern repeat. And I'm not speaking to this as I'm an expert on US politics and US history, but I can recognize the signs, and these are not isolated incidents. I've been hearing from people from Cuba, people that left Soviet countries, that they feel the same thing is repeating. And these countries are not the same. Cuba is not the same as Soviet countries. Venezuela was not the same as Cuba. But yet, the intention was there to topple the current structure and take over. And the attack on history, by first going after those symbols, was the first way to do it. These groups are not hiding their intentions, they're making it quite clear. Someone, the founder of one of the groups that started this whole attack on symbols and statues, already said openly that she's a trained Marxist. They've already shown friendships to the Venezuelan regime. So yes, this is all hitting a little bit too close to home. And I'm not a politician. I've worked to get away from politics since I moved to the US in 2010. But all of this is just bringing me back. There's a clear attack to certain symbols, and it's not just Confederate statues. So let's get away from this idea that the attack is on Confederate statues and therefore on slavery. The attack is on most statues that are important for US history. Founding fathers, also strangely enough, Spanish missionaries. For example, Junipero Serra, like his statue came down in California. The statue of Miguel Cervantes, a Spanish writer, was vandalized. What they all have in common to me is that they're all Western symbols. So the attack is on Western culture, on Western history. And is it a perfect history? No. But no history is perfect. They've already made it clear that their intent is to get into political power. For us, it was different. For us, they were already in place. Here, that's their intention. Do I believe that US politics and the US government is stronger? Yes, absolutely yes. But for me, the problem is that democracy needs to be defended and guarded and nurtured all the time. Venezuelan democracy wasn't the strongest in the last few years in the 90s. It was taken for granted. It was assumed it was always going to be there. And therefore corruption grew. We had that blind spot. We believed it would never happen to us. We believed we were in the right path. But here, what I hear from many Americans and many of my American peers and friends is that it would never happen here. It's impossible. And that to me is worrisome. Democracy has to be protected and nurtured always. Don't ever take it for granted. It didn't work out for us. And I really do hope that this is just a passing phase. But I had to say my opinion. This was all just bringing me back a little bit too much.